All right, good afternoon, everyone. Ready for the recognitions? All right. Okay. All right. City of Laredo's mayor and city council will be recognizing the following, starting with City of Laredo Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino and City Council recognized the Heat Volleyball Team, 11U Red Team, which has earned a spot to compete in the 2025 USA National Tournament in Kansas City, Missouri. This is a historic achievement as the 11U Heat Red Team is the only team from Laredo in their age group to reach this prestigious national level. They would probably represent the city of Laredo at the USA Volleyball National Championship. Best of luck. All right, come on down. Okay. All right, first is Jesse Dominguez. Where are you? Congratulations. Next is Romina Barragan. Congratulations. Vivian Velasco. Congratulations. Eluid Rodriguez. Aubrey Hernandez. Avery Garza. Aleth Lozano. Aliyah. Okay. Congratulations. Cassandra Peña. Casey Rocha. Congratulations. Marie Mila Aguirre. Congratulations. Mila Terraza. Not here. Okay. Allison Contreras. Congratulations. Camila Quiñones. Congratulations. Miguel Ángel Chávez. Okay. Is the coach around? Coach, where is he? Okay, you want to say a couple of words? Even if you. Okay, coach, here we go.
All right, well, first and foremost, thank you, Dr. Trevino, for this opportunity. More than anything, our athletes and our head coach, Eliud Rodriguez, and assistant coach, Jesse, thank you all for your perseverance, your hard work, your dedication. Our parents, without you all parents, we're nothing. So thank you all. Our girls are going to be representing in a couple of weeks in Kansas. They were fearless in the final against Alamo, and they're going to do amazing representing our amazing city, Laredo, Texas. So thank you all.
Let's get a picture back here.
Right now, when I'm done, if you all want to stand here in the middle. You want to scoot over a little? There you go. There you go.
We can count to three and then bend your knees, okay? That's all.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Right here.
Right here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more. And one more on the phone.
Give me 1 minute.
1, 2, 3. One more. All right.
Right here with LMT. Three, two. Right here.
Ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Parents, if you want to go up there. You want to go up there? Right up there.
Mayores todos I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this. Do we keep the chair? I don't see. See? Oh, okay. You sure? You didn't want to touch anything. Right here, this.
You ready?
Turn to the picture.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right here.
1, 2, 3.
There's funny, so they're tired. There's funny, hurts, right?
Jess. Okay, this is for 2 people. It's me and Jackson and the other. It's just good.
Same time.
Yes.
They're both at the same time.
Yes, together.
All right. Next recognitions. 2 Miss Laredo's, Miss Laredo USA 2025 and Miss Teen Laredo, both of them. First, it'll be Megan Jackson. Megan showcased her beauty, poise, and determination, earning a well-deserved spot in the top 15. Congratulations.
We're gonna put all together? Or just all together?
Okay.
All right. All right, next is Miss Laredo Teen USA, Niali Matani. Come on down. All right. Before we proceed, Niali showed brightly on stage and proudly placed in the top 5, a remarkable achievement. Congratulations.
Councilmember, you want to come to this side so the girls could be centered?
Oh, you want to be on this side?
Yeah, 2 and 2. Just. Right now, we'll do the parents. No. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
One, two, three. One more. Thank you. One, two, three. Thank you.
Right now, we'll bring the parents up, Mark, in a minute. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now the parents. Councilman, you want to come to this side? There you go.
Everything's out, don't worry about it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
One, two, three. One more right here. One, two, three. Thanks.
One more.
Left side, left side.
There you go. 3, 2. Thank you. Yes, congratulations.
Okay. Thank you very much and congratulations. We'll stand by for the city council at 5:30. Thank you very much. Call the meeting to order, City of Laredo, regular city council meeting, 1110 Houston Street, Laredo, Texas, 70440, Monday, June the 2nd, 2025. I'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence, please. And we pray for the victims of Colorado, the Colorado terrorist attack. Thank you. You may be seated. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor. Honorable Mayor Dr. Victor D. Trevino, Present.
Honorable Council Member District 1, Gilbert Gonzalez. Honorable Council Member District 2, Ricardo Rangel Jr. Honorable Council Member District 3, Melissa Cigarroa. Honorable Council Member District 4, Ricardo Rick Garza. Honorable Council Member District 5, Ruben Gutierrez Jr.
Present.
Honorable Council Member District 6, Dr. Tyler King.
Here.
Honorable Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member District 7, Vanessa Perez. Honorable Council Member District 8, Alisa Cigarroa. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Did we
Mayor, if I
mention,
may, sorry, go ahead.
Councilwoman just walked in?
Yes, Mayor.
Mr. Cigarro.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes, go
motion to excuse members Vanessa Perez and Alyssa Figueroa.
Second.
Motion second. On favor? Motion passes. Approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor? Motion carries. Would like to go into communications. Before we do citizens' comments, we'll go into communications. Item 6, 7, and we'll go into, first we'll go into recognitions.
Number 46 and 47, Mayor.
All right, number 46. Recognizing the John B. Alexander High School baseball team for winning outright district champs, by-district champs, area champs, and regional semifinalists on their 2025 season. Congratulations.
Check. City of Laredo Mayor, City Council recognizes the John B. Alexander High School baseball team for winning outright district champs, by district champs, area champs, and regional semifinalists on their 2025 season. Congratulations, guys. Guys, it was a hard, I know it's hard being out there in the heat. You know, I always say this, Laredo Heat, me being a former player, I know the heat is the one that gets to dedication. Guys, you went so far and you did this to accomplish this. It's not just you guys. Nobody's giving you this. You guys earned it. This is you guys heart made up. You know your parents sacrificed their time, their energy, their money, their gas money to go see you, and you made them proud, and you made Laredo proud. Me, along with Councilman Gutierrez, we decided to recognize you, and it was something that it's awesome. Thank you for doing this, guys. It's just the beginning. You're young. You're gonna be up here one day. You might be one of us. Continue your dedication, your commitment. That's what takes. That's what it takes to get what you guys are at. Congratulations. Good luck in your future endeavors. Much respect for you guys. What you guys do. Pass it out to Mr. Gutierrez.
Gentlemen, I just want to say congratulations. You all are doing a tremendous job representing the city of Laredo, and we are so grateful for you all doing so. To the parents out there for these young men, thank you, because without you behind them, always pushing them, they wouldn't get to this level. To the coaches as well, congratulations, because this means so much hard work coming from you, the players. Thank you. It means the world that you're representing Laredo, not just in Laredo, Texas, but all over the state and even possibly further than that. So, as Councilmember Rangel said, wish you the best in your future endeavors. Keep on striving for the best, because that's what you are. Thank you. Congratulations.
Again, congratulations to everybody. I think well deserved. Anytime there's people from Laredo that make us proud to be citizens of Laredo, we congratulate them. Thank you and congratulations again. Coach, where's the coach?
Hey, Coach, you want to say some words? No. I know these are your guys here, so.
Have them swing it over here so the camera can see him.
First of all, I want to thank you all for inviting us and recognizing the baseball team this year. These guys put in a lot of work this year, and baseball's tough. It's a tough sport, and I think these guys did what they could this year. Parents, thank you for all your support and for entrusting us with your kids. And go Bulldogs! We'll be ready for next year.
Mayor, Councilmember Gonzalez wants to say a few words to the boys as well.
We're gonna do a group picture, and then we'll do the individual one for Andrew.
Just really quick, I don't want this day to go by. I know Coach Lemas is celebrating a milestone. He surpassed 200 wins this year. Congratulations, Coach. Thank you so much, man. Yes, sir.
You wanna move some up there, you said? Some of the players said no? Okay. I think we're good. Can y'all just? So it's gonna be us two, and then we'll do one by one here in the middle.
Okay, yes.
You're gonna do it from the side? Okay. Right over here?
We're good right there. We're good right there. Yeah, I can see you right there. You're perfect. 1, 2, 3. One more. All right, thank you. Now ready?
Here, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Go, 3, 2. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right back there. Oh.
And one more right here, please. 1, 2, 3. One more. Thank you.
Perfect.
So now, guys, I know you guys, this gentleman would not be anything without his teammates. You guys made him where you made him what he is right now, working together as a team. But we also got to recognize that he's done, been a champion. So we want to, we want to congratulate Andrew De Leon, recognizing Andrew De Leon for obtaining 2022 Newcomer of the Year, District Champions, 2023 District MVP, First Team All-State, First Place, 2024 Pitcher of the Year, District Champion, 2025 District 36A MVP, and selected to the Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association 6A, 5A South Texas Star Team. Brother, that's a lot. Congratulations. Andrew, the big accomplishment you've done, it's something that, You know, not all of us can be able to do it. I'll try, but never did. But it's awesome, man. Seeing somebody that coming from Laredo, going all the way, it's awesome. And just keep on doing it. Good luck in your endeavors, brother. I played ball with your dad. He wasn't as good as you were, but he did awesome. And I'm proud of your parents for keeping up with you, pushing you the way. Your teammates, backing you up all the time. Your coaches, your family, your friends. It takes a village to raise a child, and you've grown up to be a great man. So appreciate it, brother, and good luck.
And again, Councilman, thank you for bringing this up. I think it's important to portray all the people that do good for Laredo and give us pride that we're Laredoans. So keep it up. Congratulations again.
First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here for us, not only for myself, but for the whole team. Guys, thank y'all for everything, all the memories and everything this year. I truly appreciate it, every single one of y'all. I love all y'all. I love all y'all to death. Coaches, thank y'all for everything these past 4 years. Y'all are great role models, great father figures for some of us. So, I appreciate everything, both of y'all, Coach Uva and Coach Lemos. My parents, dad, mom, I love y'all. Thank you for the endless support, and I wouldn't be here without y'all. So, thank y'all.
Are your parents here? Parents? Where'd it go? Exactly correct. Andrew's parents. Yeah, right here. Oh, let me just do an individual one with him, and then we'll bring in the parents. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Andrew's parents? Oh, yeah. Oh, this one? Okay, one more
Yeah.
picture right here. Okay, now with the parents? Or family, yes.
1, 2, 3.
1 minute. Yeah, okay, let me just take one more really quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Oh, hold on. We have 2 more.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. One more right here.
Here, one second. Just give me one more so we can take with the sister.
Sure. Here we go. And one more right here. Smile.
Perfect.
Great job. Excellent work.
Eso es mi cover. Eso es mi cover. Coach. How you doing? Good to see you. Doing all right, man. Yes, sir. Good to see you, Coach.
Like just us. No, we should be good. Don't have any issues.
Oh, drying up. Yeah. I saw. I heard about it. Fine line. Fine line.
All right. Yeah, we'll proceed with Roman numeral 6. Number 2.
Number one.
Number 1. Let's see what's number 1.
Everybody's happy, I'm sure.
Let me just to read it for you.
Yeah, I don't have it. Item number 1 first. Invitation from Gateway City Pride Association to upcoming Pride Month events in June, and collaborating with local organizations and businesses and celebrating diversity and inclusiveness. Anybody here?
Anybody here represent?
No?
Maybe, Mayor, we can return to this item later if
All
they're.
right.
Yeah.
We'll go to number 2 then.
We're good.
Presentation by Mayor Dr. Victor Trevino providing general comments on city manners, upcoming initiatives, and other relevant updates for the city council and public. Alzheimer's awareness. There's a couple of announcements with regards to health. As everyone was aware, we're celebrating Alzheimer's Awareness Month. And as Laredo was ranked number 1 in prevalence in the state of Texas, we know from the CDC and from practically close to 4 decades, genes, family history, environmental factors, and lifestyle behaviors. More specifically, when it comes to lifestyle factors that contribute to high blood pressure, lack of physical activity, obesity, diabetes, depression, smoking, exercise, alcohol consumption. As a community, we need to do better for the future generations. And I will go more to it with my agenda items. We'll proceed with, do we have anybody? No. The Laredo Job Corps. All right. We also have representatives from the Laredo Job Corps for some of the public that may not know. The program was created in 1964 by President Lyndon B. Johnson and funded by Congress and administered by the U.S. Department of Labor to teach young people the academic and vocational skills they need to secure meaningful and lasting employment. The program has helped thousands of students stay out of poverty, jail, and drug use. The Laredo Job Corps Center offers free career training and education for young adults aged 16 to 24, providing them with skills and tools needed to succeed in a variety of industries. It is a residential program where students live on campus, receive meals, and basic medical care. The center also helps students earn their high school diploma or equivalent and provides academic support. In my opinion, Laredo Job Corps has been a pillar of our community for decades, and when I was informed that the Department of Labor canceled the program, I was frankly very shocked. So please, Ms. Aceves, please come up, and as chair, I yield you the floor.
Good afternoon, Mayor and
Afternoon.
council members. Thank you for the opportunity to stand before you and share all the wonderful stories that have come
Excuse me,
through.
your name for the record,
I'm
please.
sorry.
That's okay.
I thought you said my name, and I'm like going for it. 3 minutes is what I remembered. Alejandra Aceves, and I'm the Center Director for the Laredo Job Corps Center. And I just wanted to, we wanted to take the opportunity today to come before you and first and foremost, thank you and your office, Mayor, for the prompt response to the urgent call this week, last week, to our closure. And Congress member's office, Henry Cuellar, also responded very promptly and quickly to the need of the young people that we're working with in Laredo. I'm very proud to report back to the council members and to the community that we have a dedicated group of individuals that for decades have continuously proven that the performance at the Job Corps Center in Laredo has rated either top 5 or top 10 in the country. Out of 121 Job Corps centers throughout the nation, the Laredo Job Corps has produced great results. It is for that reason that we are tremendously saddened by the news of the closure, and we eagerly look for members of the council or other opportunities in the community to see how we can continue to do the work. I have some ideas I'm looking forward to opportunity to discuss with members of the council and Congress member Henry Cuellar in the later future. We have 220 young people, and I'm happy to report back that the staff from Laredo, with their commitment, dedication, and pride, have safely made sure that all students have a place to go, and only 3 remaining on our facilities as of today. It's 3, sorry.
3, any questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think because it's an item with the mayor. Thank you so much for sharing that information, and I am hopeful because it was dismantled. Perhaps there's an opportunity for it to be reconfigured once it goes through the court process. But we really appreciate the work that you do. I think Laredo Job Corps has been stated, has really given opportunities to youth who perhaps didn't follow an academic path, but still are looking towards building a future. And Laredo Job Corps has played such an important role in helping students have a vision and have hope for a brighter future. And so I am sure with the mayor's leadership that the city can do what it can to help in that process and find you a way to move forward, because it would be a shame if these students weren't able to continue to develop so that they can become essentially contributing members to our society. That's what we're all looking for. And thank you for the success of your program in the past.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, just a question. Where did these, the children that were there, or the young adults, where did they get transferred to or put into now? Because when I received a call Friday afternoon, there was 220 people, and they called me with an emergency that these people, young adults, were going to be homeless. Where did they go? You say you have 3 left now?
Yes, and it's actually 220 is our capacity, and active on our campus as of Friday, we had 194 students. About 50 of them are non-resident students, so they don't live on our property. They commute daily. An average about 50 to 65 on our program year. That is our number. And the rest of the young people, either we transported back home. Some of them are from San Antonio, from local areas. Some of them are here from Laredo. So we've been transporting students. Over the weekend, we had a total of 25 students at a time on Saturday night. So throughout the time, the numbers have significantly changed because of the work of the staff.
And the 3 you have left now?
Yes, the 3 that we have left now are students that have disclosed not having a safe place to go. So we're working with them to make sure that they have somewhere to go.
Okay.
One of them, I can tell you, he is one of our welder students. He has a safe place to go, but he has continuously worked through this time. He lives in San Antonio. And for him, it doesn't make sense to drive back and forth for employment. So we're letting him work and give out his appropriate notice to the employer.
Okay. If you do have any problems getting them any type of a home or a safe situation, please let our staff know and they'll work with you directly.
Appreciate that. Thank
Please.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
All right.
If I could add,
Yes,
the
go
work that the Laredo Job Corps students have done has been a tremendous economic support to the Laredo business community. As of Friday, we had a total of 36 businesses that were working with us with our internship program. And it's a huge impact to our community as well. I do want to point out that several communities, several businesses up and down the street, main streets, are owned by former Job Corps students. And definitely, I think it's something to look into and consider. And I look forward to the conversations. And I thank you for this time and the support.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
and if by some reason you can't find an adequate living situation for this one student, do you have any alternative plan?
We do. We've been chatting with him and looking at possibilities of roommates situation with other students, potentially looking at rental properties that offer opportunities for young adults, like transitional living homes that we have any here in the area. And for the most part, he's considering just going back to San Antonio. Our hope is that they would stay in Laredo.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
The impact obviously is felt around the city when and if they find out about this. I just found out about this right now. It's really a bad thing. I'm just wondering if any of them are gonna get to go or get transferred over to the San Marcos Job Corps location if they have, or is that one was axed also?
No, sir. Unfortunately, the way this was done, it was across the country. It's not a unique situation to Laredo. It's for the entire nation. All 121 centers received the notice the same day the Congress member's office received the notice. As staff, we found out because Congress member's office in Korea notified us. The notice went out at 3 p.m. publicly, and that's when we were notified as well. And unfortunately, the notice came out with a pause. However, Department of Labor indicated contract negotiations and contract limitations, which included ending the services for the students by the 2nd, which is today.
All right.
I'm sorry to hear.
Mayor, I have an additional question.
Yes, go ahead.
What was the budget? If you know the budget nationally for all of these Job Corps centers, and then what was the budget for locally?
I definitely don't want to give you false information or misleading numbers, but I know roughly for a student at Job Corps minimum, we're looking at minimum $36,000, $40,000 a year, depending on their need. Now, it's important to recognize that Job Corps is not just an educational vocational training facility, it is residential. So we do provide full housing along with full medical support for the students. A lot of our young people that are in our program have never been diagnosed with any type of mental health concerns, and our staff are able to provide a diagnosis for them so that they can be successful in the workplace. And that includes cost of medication. So it ranges anywhere from, like I said, minimum $36,000 a year to up to $60,000, depending on each individual's needs.
So an example of really investing in youth and trying to develop all of the talent that we have.
Absolutely, and we're investing in young Americans. These are students that are not necessarily as described in the false report that is indicated that led to this decision. These are students that are U.S. citizens that need the opportunity to work, that perhaps college is not for them. And we've also had young people that have gone to college, gotten a bachelor's degree, and realize this isn't my passion. And they get into the field to become apprenticeships, join unions, and become part of this field work in our country. So it's very disappointing, very disheartening. I have family that has graduated from Job Corps and been with the Job Corps network for over 10 years. And a lot of us have that story here in Laredo. Some of our staff have been with the Laredo Job Corps since it opened 47 years ago. And we had to let them go.
How many staff are impacted?
A total of 149 employees. As of Friday, another huge economical impact to our city. As of Friday, 36 employees were laid off. 6 additional ones today, this afternoon. Friday, another group of 20, 30 individuals. and then up to the 30, another dozen.
Mayor,
Yes, go ahead.
did you say that there would be some, because I know with the federal government cuts, they've been doing some severance packages, 3 months or 6 worth of pay. Are they completely cut without pay altogether?
I wouldn't be able to give you that information. That is being handled through the company and a third-party HR. And I don't receive that information because it's being handled directly with the employee. I can ask and follow up,
Be
certainly.
nice to know. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Neff, do we have any information in regards to those employees, if they have any severance pay or what's gonna happen to them? Or do they go to Workforce Commission?
I believe that's where they would need to go, is to the Workforce Commission as well too, over there. So I have no other information on that right now. I think we were working on the emergency and then working our way back from that, so.
And Mayor, I will add that the order from Department of Labor included referring our students to Workforce Solutions. However, they're already part of Workforce Solutions. They're a partner of us. They visit our campus. They're already part of the network, as the legislation under the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act requires us to partner with them. So it's very ironic that they would ask us to refer him back to someone that we already partner with. Also considering the cuts that may happen within that area as well.
All right, and I would just add, though, please keep us in
Absolutely.
check, and we'll help where we can.
Certainly. Thank you for that.
All right.
Thank you for the
very much.
response and
Thank
the
you so
urgency.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna go to, we'll proceed with number 15. We're going with that.
Citizen
We
comments.
have,
We have
3. That's 4, actually. This is on an item.
Mayor? I'd like to move that we go back to citizen comments and continue with that.
We have 3. All right. Jose Jimenez.
Mayor, we have a motion on the floor.
Motion, yes. A motion on the floor?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Jose Jimenez.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jose Angel Jimenez, and I am the academic manager at Laredo Job Corps. I appreciate you inviting me here to go ahead and speak on behalf of my school, our training program. I'm here representing gem cutters. Now, what are gem cutters? Gem cutters, of course, just like the name says, they go ahead and they cut gems, they polish gems. So that's what we do at Job Corps. Because all the gems we have, they're students, they're diamonds in the rough. Now, what gives a diamond its value? Is it just the earth that creates them? Partially, yes. But it's also the gem cutter that polishes them, that cuts away the impurities, that goes away and prepares it so they can have its real value. And that's what we do at Job Corps. We prepare them, okay? We prepare them for real life skills, to be out there in the workforce, to be out there and going ahead and providing and being productive members of society. I want to go ahead and take this opportunity just not to just go ahead and tell you about what Ms. Aceves so eloquently went ahead and put. Just personal. May 11th, 2023, I suffered from a wound in my right leg. That same day, the doctor said we have done everything we could. If you want to survive, we're going to have to amputate. So be it. After I got sent to rehab at the specialty center, great folks over there, by the way, I was having breakfast in my wheelchair when all of a sudden I heard a soft voice. Mr. Jimenez? I turned around. It was one of our CNA students, Mari Contreras. She says, "What are you doing here?" And then I just pointed down to my leg, where my leg used to be, and she's like, "Oh, okay." And she sat down. She spoke with me. And then she went ahead, and once I finished my meal, she wheeled me back up to my room. She went ahead and had herself assigned to that floor. And she helped me, not just me, but everybody on that floor. She helped me transition from being a person who had walked on 2 legs for most of his life to somebody having to transition to being an amputee. Transitioning from the bed to a wheelchair. Going to the restroom with one leg. Not an easy task. And this is what we do at Job Corps. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to see her finish out because I was still in rehab when she finished her work-based learning. But that's what we do at Job Corps. We go ahead and we provide the training for the students. In my particular area, we do academics. We provide GED classes for those students. A GED, by the way, that carries the same weight because it is also gone ahead and judged by the Texas Education Agency. They're the ones that go ahead and certify it. They're the ones that provide the GED. It is proctored by them. And we have had many graduates there at Job Corps. One example, real quick. We had a student who graduated from Job Corps, went into the United States Air Force, a high position as a translator. He was my student, English language learner. And then he went ahead and graduated from us, and he got accepted into the United States Air Force. And there he's a translator. FBI came in to investigate him, do background checks on him. A great thing that we did. And just like him, there's many other stories. So I hope that you individuals, you people that have contributed so much to this community, can go ahead and influence what you can, the powers that be in Washington, to go ahead and continue funding Job Corps in the future. Because it's not just a program that seems in theory, it actually works. It works for Laredo, and it works for the nation. So thank you for your time, and thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you very much. Next is Dr. Anjala. Christine. Raquel. Bryant. That's all the name.
Good evening, Mayor, Honorable Mayor, and Council members, and everyone present here. I'm Dr. Angela Becquerel. I'm a project manager at Rio Grande International Study Center, and with me I have a colleague.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Honorable Mayor and Councilmen. My name is Christine Angel Bryan, and I serve as the Rio Grande International Study Center Community Engagement Partnership Officer.
And we're here today to invite you all for the workshop, an in-person workshop that is going to be on June 7th from 9 to 12 for Laredo and 2 to 5 for Nova Laredo. So to begin with that, as you all know, Rio Grande International Study Center, we work for the quality of people's life that includes air, and for that we are working in one project called Binational Community Air Monitoring Project. For that project we have installed 19 air locations in Laredo and Nova Laredo. One of the part was to collect the data, which is kind of gap in Laredo right now. So we already collected data from 19 locations. All air sensors were up by the January, so it's already 3 months. So we're going to see that first quarter data if you want to go. And we already have created a data dashboard in our Rio Grande International Study Center website under air quality, and it's PM 2.5, which will be updated twice daily. So you can go and check the data for Laredo and Nova Laredo over there. So that was the part of the data collection and data dissemination. We have 2 other components on this project that's related to the community engagement. Then I will pass on to her to explain about that.
So the next 2 objectives that we have for this workshop is community engagement, community involvement, and of course community outreach. As a community engagement partnership officer, the targeted areas that we placed our monitors are Villa San Agustin, Indian Sunset, Aquero Subdivision, Del Mar Hills A, Guadalupe, El Trompo, and of course San Francisco Javier.
So for that part, community engagement part, we already have Binational Air Council. I want Mayor to appoint somebody to be a part of that Binational Air Council because we all breathe same air, so we are already a part of that council, whether we like it or not. And other than that, we have an executive committee of 4 members from Laredo and 4 members from Nova Laredo. 4 members from Laredo are from TAMU professors, academic that belongs to, and Tanya Benavides community, and the one from our whole community itself, Mr. Eduardo. And from other side also we have the experts from different fields, so they are there
to interact with community and to work for the betterment of air quality in Laredo and Novi Laredo. That is the third component, and fourth component is to aware our community about our air quality. So this workshop will going to play a major role on that part, because we want to have this workshop as a hands-on workshop where University of Massachusetts and Art Justice, Dr. Richard Pelcher will be coming down to give us basic information, not only basic, it can go as deep as we want about the air quality of Laredo and Novi Laredo, and he will be doing some hands-on activities. It's open to community, it's totally free, so we all can learn together. And I want Mayor to send someone from there actually to our Bi-National Air Council plus to the workshop itself, and everyone is welcome, including you all and the one who is here.
Thank you so much. We did give you flyers. I'm not sure if y'all received them or not. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. That's it. This is on item
Mayor,
45.
we didn't receive the flyers. Would you be able to pass them? Thank you.
Yeah, this is item 45.
Oh, do you want us to speak now, or do you want me to break out of? Wait for the other?
Let's get
That's it. I have 40, 43, and 44. Yeah, let me just.
Oh, okay.
All right. We'll proceed with Roman numeral 15, number 43. Discussion with possible action on future international bridge sites and any matters related thereto. Sponsors Mayor Pro Tem Vanessa Perez.
Mayor, point of order. Mr. Ruiz, the problem is that you brought up on an item number and we're not there yet.
I understand that. And
Would you like to
the
speak?
lady, I wanted to speak in public comment for item 45.
Okay.
You want to let him speak, Mayor, before?
All right,
Yeah,
we're in
it's up to
item
you.
43 right now.
No, public comment. Like, I want to just say what I.
It's a public comment.
Yes.
All right, did you register for public comment already?
Yes, Mayor.
All right, okay, I'll allow it. Go ahead.
For the record, Valentin Ruiz, taxpayer and veteran advocate. We advocated recently against a bond simply because there's no trust and there is no bond. No trust in some council members, no trust in police officers that refuse to take witness statements or victim statements, or simply write a simple police report. I'm not in this to reward failure. As I understand, Councilmember Gilberto Gonzalez requested this item and is sponsored by Ruben Gutierrez and Ricardo Richie Rangel. And it's for a $500,000 police gym. Where? At the police headquarters. A multi-million-dollar building that was paid for by taxpayer money for a building built on property that doesn't belong to the city. Is that smart of our city to build a multi-million-dollar building in somebody else's property? And now you want to throw $500,000 on a gym? Wrong. As I know, I drive around all day and I see substations that are left abandoned. Even the downtown facilities abandoned. Are you going to build a gym and then this is going to be abandoned as well, like the police substations? That's not smart in any way, shape, or form. But I do support my police officers. Like me, they're out of shape. Estamos gordos. Están bien gordos, some of them. And they need that exercise. So why don't the police officers and the fire department use the rec centers? Use the rec centers or use the Martin High School obstacle course. that will increase police presence and fire department presence at our rec centers around our community to help our community. That will benefit everyone and not just the police department and not just the fire department. Then gather physical data, how many officers or fire department employees really worked out and improved their health, back with data before you throw taxpayer money their way. But if you guys are interested in throwing away money, you have a hefty discretionary funds, okay? Which in my opinion you shouldn't have. You should help out Job Corps because they help out our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
We'll proceed with number 45, or 43. Item 15, number 43. Discussion with possible action on future international bridge sites and any matter related thereto, sponsored Mayor Pro Tem Vanessa Perez. I brought this item up because we await the approval of the Columbia Solidarity Bridge expansion. I wanted to start to look towards the future, especially since Laredo has been in the bridge business for over 100 years, since 1889, and our general fund depends on this revenue source. In my opinion, as the #1 port of entry to the Western Hemisphere, I believe we waited too long for the World Trade Bridge expansion, and as a result, we're paying the price in terms of loss of market share, congestion, loss of productivity, and emissions. This goes hand in hand with us working with Senator Cruz's office and Congressman Cuellar and Congressman Gonzalez to bring back the fast track and expedited review process. So learning from our history, this proposal is more along the lines of incorporating potential international bridge crossing with our 10-year, 20-year, 30-year plans and modifying them as they relate to the changes in pedestrian, non-commercial, and commercial and rail opportunities. So it is my initial motion to instruct management to come back with a plan incorporating these potential international crossings that would benefit the city of Laredo, of the areas that are mentioned.
I'll second that motion.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is number 44. Discussion with possible action on creating a healthy neighborhood challenge to encourage, focus, promote physical activity and public health in our medically underserved community and any matters related thereto. Now, this item, I brought it up as an initiative to piggyback on the challenge we had earlier this year between communities within the state and to bring it down to a local level either between neighborhoods or districts where we encourage more physical activity in our communities. We keep ranking #1 in the top percentile of the United States when it comes to illness and disease because a number of factors as primary ones are lifestyle. So whatever we can do at council to encourage a change, it's a good thing. My motion would be to instruct management to work with the health department to promote challenge within our city between the neighborhoods or districts to see who can log the most steps or physical activity for a selected period of time for recognition or whatever the council feels appropriate. That is my motion.
I will second that motion, sir.
Motion second. Discussion?
Mayor?
Go ahead. Present.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Dr. Richard Chamberlain, your Public Health Director. I wanted to say thank you, Mayor, for bringing this item to the floor of the council chambers. There isn't enough awareness or education or information that's out there that lets us know the importance of physical activity. As you, as a physician, definitely knows the importance of physical activity on longevity and vitality. So this opportunity to work within the physical activity realm within the neighborhoods is a beautiful initiative to bring to life, and we just wanted to say that once the agenda was published, we already started brainstorming on this opportunity, on this initiative. basically bring it all to an app. So that would be our only way to make this work, which is with an app, and we're looking to launch this with the other events. I'm going to that slide, just if you all are able to see. We're looking to launch this in October of 2025 because we're already working on a public health games, which would be in September. Then we're working on Biciclovia, which is October. And then, of course, we have the Laredo Marathon in November. So we want to make sure that we continue to have this level of physical activity and branding at the city level that is going to be focusing, of course, on the population, but demonstrating that we do have these initiatives that are locally homegrown, organic, and for the people, for their heart, for their mind, for their soul.
Great, thank you. All right, thank you.
Mayor, I
Yes,
have
go
a
ahead.
question. Dr. Chamberlain, I guess I'm not surprised that you already have a plan and some ideas about activities and how to reach people. I think this idea of reaching into the neighborhoods and creating better communication with them, because the only way we're going to be able to measure their activity is to have a means to communicate and for them to reach back out to the city, right? So I do think that's going to be really important. It is, we always, as a city, I feel that we find it very difficult to reach out to our public and to get that engagement back. So I think if this is one of the ways to do that with this very personalized interest in people's health, I think it's a great thing. I'm wondering if perhaps, and this would be a discussion with management, to get the PIO involved or communication people involved so that at the city level, we can piggyback on this outreach that you're doing to the community and use it for other departments and other ways to continue that healthy communication between neighborhoods and their city government.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you for this.
Thank you. A friendly competition amongst ourselves.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mayor, I'd like to bring up item number 33.
We have a
Mayor,
motion.
point of order. I think there's a motion on the floor.
We have a motion on the floor.
Call for the question.
Yeah, call for the question.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Item number 33, Mayor, motion to bring up 33.
33, motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 33. It's, consideration to approve an amendment to the contract of delinquent tax attorney Flores and Flores Canales, PLLC, by removing section 10, which requires the delinquent tax attorney to mail a 30-day notice, 15-day notice for personal property prior to filing a lawsuit, and the attorney requests to relinquish this notice after file lawsuits as soon as delinquent accounts are turned over for collection in an effort to generate more revenue for the city. There's no financial impact at this time.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Dora Maldonado, Tax Assessor Collector.
Go ahead.
If you have any questions with regard to this item.
Make a motion to accept.
Second that.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, I'd like to motion to open up public hearings and introductory ordinances.
Motion? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're on. I think he's on.
Councilmember, thank you. Number one, public hearing, providing community residents an opportunity to comment on the 2025-2029 five-year consolidated plan and its 2025-2026 one-year action plan, which identifies the projects proposed to be funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The city anticipates receiving $2,859,543 in the 51st Action Year Community Development Block Grant Funds, $946,902 through the Home Investment Partnership Program, and $266,495 through the Emergency Solutions Grant. An additional $80,000 is anticipated to be received in housing rehabilitation revolving loan funds and $125,000 in home program income. The follow projects are proposed. 51st AY Community Development Block Grant, Community Development Administration, $571,908. Housing Rehabilitation Administration, $387,635. Housing Rehabilitation Loan Program, $800,000. Homeless Services, Bethany House Expansion Project, $400,000. Section 108 Loan Repayment, $400,000. Rental Rehabilitation Program, $300,000. Total $2,859,543. Revolving Loan, Housing Rehabilitation Revolving Loan Administration, $10,000. Housing Rehabilitation Revolving Loan Program, 70,000, total 80,000. Home Investment Partnership Grant, Home Program Administration, 94,500. Down Payment Assistance Program, 180,000. Tenant-Based Rental Assistance, 365,000. Community Housing Development Organization, 150,000. Homeowner Reconstruction Program, 132,402.88. Home Affordable Rental Housing Program, 150,000. Total, 1,071,902.88. Emergency Solutions Grant, ESG Program Administration, 20,000. Emergency Shelter Operations, 85,000. Emergency Shelter Essential Services, 30,000. Street Outreach, 35,000. Rapid Rehousing, 40,000, $45. Homelessness Preventions, 50,000. Homeless Management Information Systems, 60,450, for a total of 266,495. Number 2, amending Chapter 18, Article 5 of the City of Laredo Code of Ordinances to change the title of Article 5 to Certificate of Occupancy, to establish policies and procedures for the issuance, maintenance, and historical record keeping of certificates of occupancy with the City of Laredo, and establish a framework for addressing missing certificates of occupancy for long-standing businesses and properties to ensure regulatory compliance and public safety while minimizing undue burdens on property owners, and adding Section 18-27 entitled Record Keeping and Reinstatement Process, providing that the ordinance shall be cumulative, providing for severability clause, and providing for publication and effective date. Number 3, public hearing and introductory ordinance accepting and amending the fiscal year 2024-2025 911 regional administration budget by appropriating additional revenues and expenditures provided by the Commission on State Emergency Communications in the amount of $430,000 to the fund the NG 911 program of South Texas region, including Jim Hogg, Star, Webb, Zapata counties, to make a total on the biennium of $7,625,515 for the period to begin September 1st, 2023 through August 31st, 2025. Number 4, public hearing and introductory ordinance authorizing city manager to grant a non-exclusive franchise to Dumpster Rescue LLC to use the present and future streets, alleys, avenues, alleys, roads, highways, sideways, easements, and other public rights of way of City of Laredo, Texas, for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, operating commercial container refuse, gathering, and disposing services, setting forth terms and conditions to govern the franchise, providing severability clause and saving clause, and an effective date. Franchise fee will be deposited to the general fund. Number 5, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Laredo, Texas, authorizing city manager to amend the City of Laredo fiscal year 2025 capital grant fund to appropriate revenues and expenses in the amount of $1,368,770 for the Texas Department of Transportation, TASA Transportation Alternative Set Aside Grant for city improvements at the construction of sidewalks, curb, gutters, cross-surface materials, pavement markings, lightings, landscaping, and select utility relocation along Salinas Avenue between Iturbide and Water Street. The local match will be funded by the tax increment reinvestment zone, zone number 1, TERS number 1. Grant will be allocated in the capital grant fund, providing that this ordinance shall be cumulative, providing a severability clause, providing for publication, and declaring an effective date.
All right. Number 1.
Okay. We need one more council.
Okay.
Yes.
Ready?
Ready, sir.
Okay. Public hearing number 1. For or against? For or against? For or against?
Motion to close and introduce?
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Number 2. For or against? For or against? For or against?
Motion to close and introduce?
Motion,
Second,
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Number 3. For or against? For or against? For or against?
Motion to close and introduce?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Number 4. For or against? For or against? For or against?
Mayor,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Neb, I realize that these trash collection companies come to the city and they're just looking for permission to use the streets and be able to open their business. But we've had so many of them just since I've been here. And I wonder at some point if, like we controlled the car washes from opening, the proliferation of those businesses, if we could have a review of how many companies are actually trying to operate, because I do think there's something to be said for having a plethora of businesses and then really not having enough business to sustain a profitability margin for them. So I don't mean for it to apply to this one, but and I don't want to stand in the way of this one. But I would like if perhaps we could have our department look at the number and see if there is maybe twice a year or something that gives us a better idea to make sure that everybody has an advantage to have a successful business.
Yeah, and Mayor and City Council, and they can cover any greater details than me, but our ordinance right now does not regulate how many can actually do the service. We let the economics actually drive that mechanism for that. So, but that's what you're talking about, is reducing the number of franchisees that we allow to utilize within our facility, I think, within the city. So we are obligated through the health and safety within the statutes that we're responsible for all trash collection within the city, and that's why we utilize the franchises for these types of pickups as well too. So we could look at that. I don't think there's anything that ties us to not reducing the number and locking. Yeah, so I'm getting that nod there. So we can look at that. I know that we're doing a lot of conversations with solid waste right now, so happy to put that on that list as well too. But I would recommend approving this one.
All right.
Okay.
I'll move to close and introduce.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Number 5, for or against, for or against, for or against.
Motion to close and introduce.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, council to introduce ordinances 6, 7, and 8. No motion needed.
All right. As noted.
Motion to approve final ordinances, final reading of ordinances 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Please
16.
skip 16.
Okay.
If you could skip 16 for now.
16, okay.
Okay.
17 and 18.
All right, motion. Any second?
I'll second that.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Number 16, Mayor.
Let's do number 16, there's a question on that.
The question is that I will be abstaining from that vote, so I would just like to not be included.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Motion
Second.
Second,
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Motion to approve the consent agenda number 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. On number 27, there will be an amendment. It's going to read, consideration to authorize the city manager to award FY 25-056 Environment Health Solutions Software. That's going to be the amendment. Motion to approve as well. Number 28, 29, 30. We'll hold on 29. To approve 30, 31, 32, 33 has been done. 34, 35. That's the motion.
All right. Motion second.
Amendment?
Sorry?
Second with your amendment?
With the amendment, yes.
Second with amendment. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Mayor, we're back on number 29.
Number 29.
Mayor, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
Discussion with possible action to approve the proposed changes to the medical insurance rates for the City of Laredo Health and Benefits Plan for all employees, retirees, and dependents. Funding will be available in the Health and Benefits Fund. Ms. Teniente, I don't disagree with moving forward with this, but the question, and you gave a very detailed and I think comprehensive explanation for how we would proceed with funding the health benefits at our budget meeting, and I thank you for that. I do think that there was one question that remained unanswered, and that was if the recommendation is to have a healthy reserve fund and the increase that is required by this plan necessitates actually not depleting, but decreasing that fund to make budget. What is the plan in the future to restore the reserve fund and also to reach the new higher amount that's been recommended by our financial council?
Mayor and council members, Linda Teniente, Human Resources Director. I, along with our budget director and our consultants, have been working on it. If we did not do anything to modify our plan as today's as the workshop suggested and today's ordinance is suggesting, if we do not do anything, we deplete it. If we do this plan modification, we'll be able to then see a upswing on those modifications. If we have people out of our PPO plan and we put them into our high deductible plan, what that does, it starts building up our reserves. So we need to get people out of that comfortable PPO where they're paying more out of pocket. We know for a fact that more than 1,000 of our employees do not hit the $1,000 a year. So if I can get them out of there, we're gonna have a savings. We're projecting, and I'll say we, I say budget, if we move it, if we modify our plan the way we're projecting, the way our consultants are recommending, we'll start seeing possibly a 2 million every year uptick. So we're hoping in 5 years, and we'll be able to gauge it in the next year or so to see if those $2 million in our reserves will start developing at that point. Get us to where we need to be as an organization.
That is incredibly good news. Thank you. Thank you very much, and for the plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate it. I'll move to close and approve.
Second.
Move to approve.
Motion second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Mayor, if we go back to communications, number 6, number 1, just to table that item, otherwise, no, there was nothing said on that item. So we'll table it for now until there's a presenter here.
Okay.
Oh, could I comment before we table?
Absolutely, go ahead.
So I do know, according to just Facebook posts, the Pride Parade is taking place on this Saturday. I wish I had better information about the details, but you can find it on Facebook, you can find it on Instagram. This has become an annual event, and it's very joyful, and it's a lot of fun. It happens downtown, so it'll happen on June 7th. Look to social media to find those details.
Great. Motion to table?
All right, motion? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Staff reports, Mayor, number 36.
Number 36, staff reports.
Hello.
Hello?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Vanessa Filazola, the Public Art Program Manager, and I'm going to be talking about the Laredo Public Art Program today. So before I get into it, I want to introduce you guys to myself and our team. Currently, I am the only one in the Arts and Culture team. So we do have our Fine Arts and Culture Commission with us, and we have them backing us as support, and by us I mean me. And I also have the library team and Dr. Chamberlain as well supporting me. So a little bit about me, I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics in art. So you will see that I'm very data-driven and data-oriented with things, but then I'm also creative as well. And I studied art and literature in Italy for 2 semesters. So when going through the Laredo Art Master Plan and the ordinance, living in a place where arts and culture is like part of the fabric of Italy, I can honestly understand what it is you guys are trying to do, because the quality of life over there is completely different compared to Laredo. So I completely understand what y'all's objectives are when you set forth the ordinance. With that, my experience is primarily in education. So for 13 years, I worked within education. Some roles that I had, I was a research assistant, I was also adjunct faculty, and more recently, I was a manager at Laredo College. I was in charge of the mathematics tutors there. And then within the past 7 years, I co-own a small art business here in Laredo. And if you ask me some things that I do, on the left-hand side, you can see some of the pieces that I have created. I like to joke that I am a jack of all trades, master of none, but otherwise better than a master of one. So I like both 2D and 3D work, so that is why I mostly focus on multimedia. So I do painting, photography, digital art. You can see on the left-hand side, that's pyrography, which is wood burning. And then the actual frames are made from reclaimed pallets. So since Laredo is an import, we wanted to use these reclaimed wood to actually make things out of discarded wood that people would have just thrown away. So this is a way for us to save on our overhead, but then also refurbish some of the things that people thought were trash. So I also do focus on 3D works. So I do sculpture, woodworking, interior design, and on the right-hand image, you can see a macrame project, which is a room divider. It is over 8 feet tall and required over 600 yards of cord and took over 3 months to make. So I'm a very patient person. So it's perfect for working here. So enough about me. Let's get into why I'm here. So the purpose of this presentation is just to go over our program's objectives, goals, and the procedures guiding the implementation of the Laredo Art Master Plan. So we're going to review some community surveys, project timelines, and go over strategies so we can bring accessible art into shared public spaces in Laredo. Our goal is to enrich our community and our community's life and foster lasting engagement for Laredoans and hopefully visitors as well. So with that, you will hear us refer to the Laredo Art Master Plan as LAMP. So what we think LAMP is, it is a 240 plus page document, so I'm just summarizing that into a couple of slides. So it is where we are going to incorporate hopefully unique installation to draw in tourism, boost local businesses, and create opportunities for local artists. It is also a way for us to have community engagement. We really want our projects to be interactive so we can get people going outside and interacting with what we already have within Laredo. So hopefully we can educate, inspire participation, and then foster community connections and encourage feedback, because we want to be able to set forth these projects, but also hear back from the community to see what we're doing right and what we want to do going forward for our future annual plans. So with that, we currently have 3 surveys on our website where you guys can actually send anyone from the community there to submit a survey, which we'll go over a little bit later. And another thing is we want to foster collaboration. So we don't want just collaboration between city staff, elected officials. We also want collaboration with the community. So one of those surveys, or several of the surveys, is one to get feedback to understand where people in Laredo want to see public art, and then of course what type of art people want to see in Laredo. So hopefully what we're going to do is foster, cultural pride and help engage people with the community. So now let's look at some location surveys within LAMP. So if you go through LAMP, there's several surveys within there. So for our upcoming annual plan, we're going to be looking at these locations, and you will see that our projects are primarily focused on these locations. So you will see that it does not equal 100%. It is just the top 3 areas that people in Laredo were most interested in seeing public art. So 37% of people in Laredo said city buildings and districts. So that includes the libraries, historical districts, neighborhoods, school campuses. 36% said outdoor spaces. So that would be our city parks, sidewalks, crosswalks, trailheads, walking routes, what have you. And then 25% of people in Laredo said that they wanted to see art in infrastructures. So that's underpasses, bridges, railroad entrances, and gateway entrances. So when we are doing future projects, this is what we're going to be focusing on, the specific locations throughout the city. Next, we'll look at the types of public art. So we already know the locations, so now what forms of art do people in Laredo want to see? Well, within LAMP, the top 3 mediums that people spoke up about was outdoor artwork. So you can see here that I have a Venn diagram because a lot of this stuff overlaps within each other. So this form of 51% of people, they just want artwork outdoors. So that could include the murals and the installations, but it's just art in public spaces and outdoors, and it's where people can participate. So 20% of people said installations. That would be your sculptures, light, sound installations, multimedia, traditional statues, what have you. And then 15% of people said murals. So that would be paintings on walls, tiles, mosaics, and utility cabinets, and so on and so forth. All of these can be considered outdoor artwork, but then we could also incorporate them in city buildings. So now that you know a little bit of LAMP and what the community wants to see for the public art, how are we going to implement it? Well, implementing it, we're going to follow our standard operating procedures. So this is where we're going to establish a consistent and transparent process for the submission, evaluation, and implementation of our program. So what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully get people to understand the workflows and understand the steps and details of the project process from the very beginning until the very end and the maintenance process of upkeeping the artwork that we have in Laredo. And then, of course, we're going to hopefully streamline efficiency. We want to be efficient when we are working on these projects. And this is where we're also going to be incorporating feedback and regular check-ins with the artists. So we want to make sure that the artists complete the artwork within a time frame. And by us incorporating gradual payments, we'll be giving the artist a percentage up front once they sign on for the art project. Halfway through, we're going to be doing feedback. So we'll be basically meeting with the artists and going over to see if what they proposed is what is being implemented. And then that would include the regular check-ins with them to make sure that we are getting what the city paid for. And then hopefully this will help minimize delays and ensure timely completion of the artwork. And then within our SOPs, we also have responsibilities outlined of everyone that is a part of the public art project, from the city officials to elected officials, staff, artists, and our evaluation committee as well.
Go ahead.
As it relates to, and nice to meet you, by the way. Thank
Hello.
you. Exciting that you are on board. Workflows. I mean, I know in the past there's council just kind of decided that would be cool there, and then just kind of submitted it and it got done. But obviously the point is to try to filter it through you. But if we do think we have a good idea, which the workflow would the idea be that we submit it to you, your office, and then go through the sequence that you just said.
The timeline, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over the timeline, but if you guys do have any ideas of projects, please contact us or contact your FACC member, because we have monthly meetings with them where they can bring up the projects that you proposed, and then from there we can move forth with the timeline. So hopefully we can streamline any projects that you guys are interested in, but we want you guys to let us know or have hopefully meetings with your FACC member so they can give you updates on things, and they're going to be your ear to the ground with the community. And then we'll also be going over with them when we are doing the surveys, so they can sit down and meet. And when we are doing our annual plan, let's say that you have some constituents in your district that were specifically saying that they wanted murals. For that year, we can focus on doing murals and listen to what your community members said.
Mayor Mann?
Yes, for the record, Mr. Secretary, Councilwoman Alicia Segura is present. Thank you. Go ahead.
Welcome. Very happy to see that you're getting this project off the ground. I know it's been a long time in coming. I thought I understood that there was an existing public artworks plan, a master plan that has been discussed in past years, and so there would be some type of basis to begin to look at projects?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So everything going forward, so we will have a yearly annual plan. So that's where we would focus on the projects for that specific year. But everything we're doing is guided through LAMP and the ordinance set forth. And then of course also Viva Laredo. So we're going to be following all of those things, including the master plan. So projects going forward, we are focusing on LAMP, but then we can also take into consideration what the community also wants, which a lot of it does align with what LAMP already has set forth. But it's just to basically guide us for that specific year plans projects that we can do.
And will that plan exist on the website?
For which one?
The overall.
The overall plan is going to be presented to you guys for approval, so then we can go forth for that year, but we can have it available to the website. So artists who are specifically interested in things can see what we have going forth for that year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So now that we went over LAMP, which is our objectives, we heard from the community what they kind of want to see, and our procedures, let's look at a timeline of a project. So this is just a general timeline for things. so you guys can kind of see how the workflow is. So first, starting off, we have project launch and proposal submission. So this is where we will do the public announcement, and we'll be getting submissions for artists. So for this, we're going to be providing support for the artists. This is where I'm currently working with several organizations to help do workshops to help artists with this submission process. And then, of course, for the proposals as well. So we know that there's some people that don't understand necessarily how to do all the paperwork and fill out all this stuff. It is the business side of art, which, let's face it, a lot of people within the arts have difficulty with, some, myself being one of them. But we will be having workshops. I'm currently already meeting with TAMU, LC, LISD, and the Daphne Art Foundation to establish these workshops. So this is where we're going to be able to make it accessible and understanding for everyone in the community. So after the submission process, we'll move on to the review and evaluation, where I will be doing just an initial review to make sure that all the guidelines and everything is met, and then it's going to be sent to our evaluation committee, which some of those members will be part of the FACC. So they're going to be scoring the proposals based on the artistic merit, impact, feasibility, and the qualifications. So once it gets through that, we're going to move on to the next stage of the approval and notification. So this is where city officials will approve the projects that were recommended by the evaluation committee. And then from there, I would go about notifying the artists. So once we go into the project implementation stage, so I'm going to be meeting with the artists to set forth clear expectations with them. This is where we're going to set up the gradual payments with them, and we are going to discuss timelines. If there are delayed with things, that they need to contact me and keep me up to date to make sure that we get the project completed within, you know, a reasonable timeline. Now, if there are delays, we're expecting them to contact me to let me know, because as the program manager, we want to be able to manage our expectations and their expectations as well. Because if there's a back order of things, we completely understand, but we need them to keep in contact with us. So if we are going to extend our project implementation, our timeline, we might also be extending the gradual payment for the artist. Since we are doing gradual payments, we're not giving them the lump sum at the very beginning. We'll be giving them a certain percentage at the beginning, and then when we meet our midpoint, we'll be giving them the feedback to make sure that they align with the project that was approved, and we'll be giving a certain percentage at that point, and then at the very end, once the project is completed, that's when we would give them the final percentage of what was proposed at the very beginning of what the project was costing. And then, of course, the project, post-project. So after everything's finished, we have our unveiling. We also kind of want to assess the impact of the public art project and then have the community feedback. Currently on our page, which is located on the library page, if you go to the About Us section, you would be able to see the Laredo Public Art Program. So on there, you will have our mission statement, our vision statements. You will also be able to view the Laredo Art Master Plan, our public-facing SOPs, and then, of course, Viva Laredo. And we also added 3 surveys there. So those 3 surveys are to get the community feedback, because we want to be transparent with things, but also kind of listen to what the community wants to see. So we have a feedback survey, which they can let us know of how we did on our projects. We also have a location survey, which anyone in Laredo can feel free to fill out, where they'll tell us what specific locations they want to see public art. And then the public art type survey, where that kind of narrows down the types of projects that people in Laredo want to see. So that goes over different mediums and different themes as well. So those, you guys can send people right away to that. If you have any of your constituents or community members that want to provide feedback, they can go forth and look at that already. So now that we have, you know, what LAMP is, you know, what our standard operating procedures are, and our timeline, we're going to look at some funding sources. So how we're going to fund these projects, we're going to go based off of our district priority funds, so you can kind of see, since the implementation of the ordinance, these are the CIP projects that were already approved or already issued. So this is the guiding light of where we're going to be tapping into the COs. So you can see these are the specific departments and divisions, and this is basically where we're going to be using our funding sources. And then going forward, we also have the approved COs from the most recent years. So going forward, you can also see that we're going to be tapping into these funding sources as well. And this is based off of council agenda items and ordinances that are stated below. So next,
Yes, go ahead.
Do you have a copy of all the projects that are Public Works, the funding sources for that particular?
For this one.
Yeah.
Yes, they are located on the website. I don't have them with me right here, but they are located on the finance website on the district priority funds, where they break down each district and the specific projects that you guys put forth on that specific year. So this is based off of that data. So the next step towards a more vibrant city. So we have, or I have mentioned collaboration. So we want to work not only with city officials and city staff, we want to work with the community. So currently, we're in the works with proposing a mural with the engineering department on the Cesar Chavez walkway, which hopefully we can contribute to. We are also working on a GIS mapping of all of Laredo's public art. So on the screen on the left-hand side, you can see a little sample of one of the public art story maps of a city. So this is kind of like what you're gonna see, but for all of Laredo's public art. So there is already murals and sculptures up in Laredo. Now all we have to do is track everything. So luckily, I have had this CVB and Keep Laredo Beautiful to help guide me towards some of the projects that they've worked on. And I'm gonna continue to build off of that. So you can see that it's very user-friendly. On the left-hand side, it has all the murals with a picture and a little explanation and the title. And then on the right-hand side, it will have the map. And each tab will have a different medium of art. So you can see there's murals, sculptures. Once we implement other mediums, you will see that we're gonna be building out that site. But if anyone asks questions about the public art, you can direct them here and it will have all the information of the public art that we have in Laredo. And another thing that we're also working on is our mini murals, which is our utility cabinet art. So for this, this is gonna be a high traffic area, literally, because we wanna put these in for utility cabinets throughout your districts. So if you guys don't have anyone assigned in your FACC committee, we highly suggest that you guys assign someone. And the reason that we say that is these are district-specific projects. So we want to make sure that your district has a voice. And with you having that committee member assigned to your district, we're able to have a voice for that specific district, because it can be that you are the historical district or import or export, what have you. And we want to make sure that, you know, that district has a voice. And with your committee member from the FACC, we highly suggest that you meet with them and talk with them to kind of see what it is that we're doing, and then they can let you know of current projects that we're going to be working on. So another thing that we've mentioned, and that was mentioned a lot today, was getting people moving. You know, getting people outside and exercising and, you know, being able to be healthier. So we want to incorporate some interactive projects. So this is still pending recommendation from the FACC, but we did get that we have approval for using some of the issued COs. So one of the projects that we're gonna hopefully set forth is called Jumpstart Creativity. So these are ground murals. What we wanna do is have these murals in high traffic areas where there are kids. So the ground mural is a hopscotch mural, and we're looking to put them outside on the sidewalk of every elementary school. So kids can hop into school, they're working out, they're hopefully getting excited for the day at school, and on top of that, you're getting parents to walk by and see that we're actually doing something for the kids. And you can hopefully get community engagement and get them to appreciate what it is that we're trying to do here. And each ground mural can have a different theme. We can have where there are just different leaves and it goes into a flower, or we can have the different planets and it leads to Pluto, if it's still considered a planet. But we can have the artists basically come up with their ideas, and each school has their own, you know, specific thing. And that's why we say, once again, that your committee member is the voice of your district. So they can give insight into specifically what your district has to offer, and we can gear these ground murals to that specific district. So another interactive project, I like to call it footnotes. We're still workshopping the names, but this is a literal story walk, which is sidewalk poetry. So I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of this before, but basically what it is, if we're repairing sidewalks, which if you go back to some of our CIP projects, we are fixing sidewalks. So regardless, we're already using concrete. Now, part of the curing stage of concrete, you can actually indent into it. So that's where you see people will write their names or write, who they're dating or what have you at the time. But for us specifically, we want to create molds where we would stamp in poetry or short stories written by people in Laredo. So for this, we might want to do, which I'm working with LISD and UISD, we might want to do some contests where we have people and students in community engagement, but then also have them have creative writing as well. So if we're engaging middle schoolers with their creative writing classes, maybe we can also engage high schoolers as well who have to write, and we can engage with them and hopefully get them to submit stories, and then we can use that to imprint it into our the sidewalk projects that we're working on. So another thing that we'll be hopefully proposing is gallery walks. So this is inspired by little libraries. So if you see the image posted there, that is a mini gallery. So what it is basically a post, and it's a miniature gallery. So for this, we can select kids, students, people part of the Deaf New York Foundation, people at TAMU, LC, anyone that's interested in the arts, and we can make it accessible all throughout the city. So we can basically have this anywhere. So looking through this, imagine you're going to a park where we have ground murals where the kids can play. We have footnotes where people can walk by and see, short stories about the city, or that are positive notes for people to walk by as they're exercising. And then they can also hopefully see some of the gallery walks that we have. So this is kind of something that we want to implement and infuse into our city. And another thing you guys can look forward to, hopefully going forward, is our artist mentorship program. So we want to offer artists hands-on experience in public art. A lot of LAMP, it mentioned that we select the same artists for projects, but a way that we can help engage and get more people to be confident enough to submit these proposals is by having a mentorship program for our citizens. So hopefully we'll foster community growth with feedback, networking opportunities, and then portfolio support, where we would be helping them build their portfolio and hopefully feel confident enough to submit a proposal in the future. And then we want to strengthen art appreciation while enhancing Laredo's creative identity for public art. So this is something that you guys can hopefully look forward to in the upcoming annual plan, where we are going to be proposing these projects to you guys for hopeful approval. And I want to thank you guys for your time and attention. And if you guys need anything, I have my contact information provided there. But you guys can also access our website through the Public Art Library page under the About Us tab, and you will see public art.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, motion to go into executive session for number 37, 38, 39. Authorized by Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, deliberations with real property, 551.073, deliberations about gifts and donations, 551.074, personnel matter, 551.076, deliberations about security devices, and 551.087, economic development, and any other matters, or any other employees deemed necessary to be so.
All right, motion, any second?
Second that.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Executive session. Back to regular session, no action was taken at executive session.
Mayor, if I may, for number 37, just to direct staff to proceed as directed.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead.
If
negotiations.
Continue negotiating, correct, as amended.
As amended. Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
For number 38, for staff to interview both candidates and come back to us next meeting for the decision to be made.
Second.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And for number 39, for staff to proceed as directed.
Motion,
Second that.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Mayor, if I may, motion to recess as the Laredo City Council and convene as the Laredo Mass Transit Board.
Motion,
Second that.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
For number 40, Mr. Garza, a question for you.
Good evening, Mayor.
How are you,
City
sir?
Council. I'm RJ Garza,
Mayor, may I
Transit
proceed?
Director.
Yeah, go ahead, proceed.
Mr. Garza, on this, on these fare, the waiving of these bus fares for children between the ages of 6 to 17, the brand new initiative program to help families and children in Laredo stay connected, active during the summer months. Kids Go on Summer Transportation be commencing June 3rd through August 31st, 2025. Do you know or do you have an approximation of what that actually costs the city at the end of it? Is the ridership high with children of that age?
We tried to come up with an estimate, and this is the first time that we're putting this program together, so we don't have that type of data. After this, we will be able to share with you how successful we were. But this event is going to help promote all city recreational activities for the kids and for their families, and we hope to increase and encourage them. It's also an opportunity for us to, encourage them to ride the bus, so in the future use it, and that's how we want to build up the business that way.
Sure. Now, ridership, do these children need to be accompanied by an adult, by their parent, or can they be in there alone?
The parents, anybody, let's say, kids under 12 or below would have to be accompanied by a parent, but the parents would have to pay.
Sure, of course. Okay, thank you very much. Motion to approve number 40.
Motion,
I'll second that.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve number 41 and 42.
Motion,
Second that.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn as the Laredo Mass Transit Board and reconvene as the Laredo City Council.
Motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Item 45.
Number 45?
Is it, it's 45. Is it? 45. 45, right. Okay.
All right. Item 45. Councilman, you want to read this?
Discussion with possible action to allocate funds for the renovation of the Health and Wellness Center located at the Laredo Police Department headquarters and any matters incident there to. I believe we have Assistant Chief here to present.
Mayor, distinguished members of council, good evening. City manager and staff. Ricardo Gonzalez, Assistant Chief, Laredo Police Department, for the record. I'm here on behalf of Chief Rodriguez regarding the project for full renovation and expansion of our current gym located at police headquarters. This initiative is not only to support a wellness initiative, but also motivate our officers and keep up with standards of the profession and such. Any particular questions that you have, council members, regarding this request or this initiative?
Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
As we heard earlier at the public comments, I'd like you to answer the question as to why it should be at the police department, and what are your thoughts on it being, and why we don't want to have our officers training anywhere else other than that.
So, after the bond referendum, we heard the citizens loud and clear. They don't want us to spend large amounts on big buildings. They want us to work with what we have. Obviously, the investment that was initially done several decades ago in this department, obviously they believe that it's salvageable at a much lower cost to conduct a lot of these improvements and support the initiatives or a lot of the vision that we have, and then meet the needs of our growing department.
Any questions? Go ahead.
Mr. Gonzalez, just little facts. If we add this money to this wellness center, it's gonna bring value to that property, right? God willing, later on in the future, you do get a training center, you do get a new headquarters. That will bring value to what we're changing or we're rebuilding and remodeling. Will that bring more property value to that building?
Yes, sir. Any investment that is done to this building, obviously it's gonna be done in infrastructure. There's a lot of conversations that when we're doing a lot of support from other law enforcement agencies and a lot of other entities, that we're looking closely at what we're doing. And there's a lot of interest of other agencies moving in and using that building, a lot of federal agencies and such, because it has a lot of value. Obviously, our department has grown and gone beyond the need of that particular building, but it still serves a lot of purpose. It has a lot of, it has a lot of value.
Yes.
Just to continue,
Yeah, go ahead.
just to clarify, that property belongs to the airport. Is that right, management?
That property belongs to the city of Laredo through the airport. Yes, sir.
Oh, belongs to the city of Laredo property, so it's still an investment going back to our properties, which belongs to
Yes,
the
sir.
airport, which the airport belongs to the city of Laredo,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
We're correct? So we're adding value to one of our properties, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Chief,
Yes, sir.
I know as a city and of this governing body, we wouldn't be ready to commit what's being said, $450,000. Is that the price?
No, there's been an initial study that's been done of what we can do with that current square footage. Our gym is approximately 1,600 square feet, but it also has a large area where there's other amenities such as a sauna, a small sauna. There's a lot of locker rooms, changing areas, and restrooms and such to be able to change and shower and all these things. We want to mirror a lot of what gyms are doing these days. They're becoming more efficient in as far as what they provide for changing rooms and allocating more of that space to be productive for operations for equipment, which is bulky, and since for safety requires room and space between stations. We want to be able to take advantage of that initial design that now it's somewhat flawed because it's almost as big as the operation of the actual gym. We want to do some expansion, be more efficient with that space, and open it up to be able to do more equipment, be able to utilize it more for actual training. We're going to be working with what we have there, but again, becoming more efficient and effective with that use.
So what would be the price tag on this?
So obviously, there's wiggle room depending what we want, but the initial proposal would be around $295,000, running some of the expansions or some of the construction that we want to do. Unfortunately, it's an aging building. We've had a lot of plumbing issues. We have done some assessment, and we would need to make some changes to our sprinkler systems, also to the HVAC system to be able to bring it up to standard.
So the rest of because it was said 450,000, but the rest, I guess, the department identified some funding from the trust fund. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, we can't use the trust fund to invest in the building, but we can use it to utilize it to buy equipment, which is another expense part of this program that we can take on that responsibility that has to purchase.
If I could help as well too on this as well too, because I was checking on this, and I'll reiterate what the chief was saying as well too. The project is estimated at $471,000. They can utilize, based upon the plan that they have, $176,000 of the trust funds to get there. That leaves the remainder of the $295,000, which is what they're seeking from the city in order to help finish this off. I will say that this is not a new area either, and I'm gonna back that up. This area has been there and they have not done any improvements to it since 1996. 1996. I don't know if those gophers that ran the treadmills even work anymore, but it is, so just so you have that background, this is an area that they're trying to bring up to date for that. I know that based upon the conversation that the last time we were trying to find out if the council district funds could actually be utilized, and they could be utilized for this, but I don't know, I don't think we ever had a number from everybody for how to divide the 295,000 up. And so that would be my only recommendation, that if you would consider us, let us talk with everybody outside of that, because I would like to close that gap and do this right if we're going to do that. That would be my only recommendation, so.
Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
I can appreciate, I mean, part of the reason for a new headquarters was because it's been since 1996 that anything's been done to the building. But, you know, Councilmember Garza and I did a tour of the building and saw the need for a new headquarters. Because that didn't go through, there are some other areas of the headquarters that also need significant investment. And
Yes.
it is not that I don't appreciate taking care of people. And I do believe that the police officers, the same with the firefighters, need to have space to be able to invest in their health and their wellness. But there are also other parts of that facility that also have needs in remodeling. So is there a plan to manage that? And maybe it's not just the police force I need to be looking at, but also management, because there are significant changes that need to be made to the headquarters for separate departments. And where is all of this prioritized? I think investing in the people who work there is important, but we know there are also important issues. Is there a plan on how you're gonna move forward with these smaller investments, because we can't do the big thing, to make sure that other operational needs are being met?
And I would tell you that the police department's been working on all of that as far as what's alternative be, right? I mean, so that's the nature of this. I think this piece in here, they've already had the plans for it. They had a lot of the pieces there. And I think that's why they worked there. I will say this since '96 up until now as well too, and I'm just reading a couple of the chief's comments as well too. That'll cover the men's and the women's restroom updates. It includes a lactation room for our female officers as well too. And so I want to make sure that you understand that it is a very broad request, and it's to bring that area of the department up to date.
Mayor, yeah, go ahead. So I'd like to make a motion for staff to come back to us in 2 weeks after speaking to every council member and the mayor about what we possibly be able to fund this with district priority funds, if any.
I'll second that motion.
Motion, second?
And Mayor?
Yes, go ahead.
Just for discussion, I'd also just like to clarify, because there's gonna be, there's media here, just the moratorium, in explaining how this would not be,
Yes, sir, thank you.
why would this not
Yeah.
violate the moratorium?
So the moratorium is on the city funds itself. And so the moratorium, we excluded the district priority funds as part of that model because it's the discretion of the council as to how to spend those monies. They're meant to assist within the district, within the city and everything. And so when we set the moratorium, it was really about us kind of keeping our house in order for that and maintain your ability within the districts to take care of your districts or the things that you believe are the most important. Those funds are, that's what those funds are there for. They're capital funds that are for that purpose. The moratorium actually affects us more on the operational side as well too. So keep that in mind as far as the difference within this thing. If this was going to create a bunch of extra new jobs, I know the police department would love that, but it is about taking care of what we already have. And so the moratorium is more on the operational side and kind of holding those things in check rather than these capital things that are funded through the district priority. And there may be the conversation of other funds within the CIP of just like I think with Councilmember Rangel saying, should we still be doing this project or not? I think we just need to close this gap first, and I would love to report that back.
All right. Okay, we have a motion, it's been second.
There's a second already, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Can I just add one more thing to your, the comment, just so we can close make it really nice and neat for everybody to understand. You spoke of training within the gym area that you do.
Yes, sir.
Is that training possible through any rec center or anything like that?
It is, but it gets complicated. We've tried it years past, by the way, where, our officers work long shifts, 10-hour shifts, so, and then some at times. So to ask them to stick around longer periods of time to invest in that training gets complicated, especially if they're gonna go from work somewhere else because they have a gun that we don't encourage them to leave in their cars. They go to a public place, it gets complicated, they can't secure it anywhere without the building. Promoting that and supporting them that facility to be able to do that in-house, we're gonna get a better response.
Well, all the necessary safety features that you're not gonna be also inconveniencing the public, because the rec centers are for public use. And it's not gonna be used for, okay, this time, get everybody out of the way, we're coming in. But the ability to be within the same building and doing this is my recollection of what I saw and got to see during that tour. And I applaud you guys for bringing it up to us, because we had no clue of the conditions that that building is at, especially something as important as a training and physical training area, which is vital to our force. So just wanted to make that clear.
And if I may add, we've invested in training, certifying an officer, training at the DPS Academy to be able to train officers from a lot of portions of wellness training, from nutrition, physical training, and bring up to par with a lot of the push that our licensing agency is now implementing more and more, as far as to have this standard throughout the state for our officers. So we want to be able to be that department that has not only the confidence, but is a certified department to be able to meet that.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, I'm just gonna add, I also added this for discussion also because of the high insurance claims that we get from our officers. You know, and right now more than ever, it's important to keep them fit for those, school responses. So I mean, all that, all those strategies, we need the officers to maintain their fitness level, because it's all about response time as well.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, we had a motion?
Yes, sir, it's already passed.
It's already passed, all right, okay.
We're on 48, Dr.
Number
King.
48. All right. It'll be discussion with possible, Dr. King, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mayor. This is just bringing back the issue we're having with the fiber contractors. I know we brought it last month, and we mentioned we were going to try to strengthen our city ordinances. Still having a lot of, I think only like 10 to 20% of Laredo is currently with fiber. We know the two main contractors in town are aggressively trying to get as much ground as they can. They're dividing and conquering, so to speak. And, we continue to get, the calls of the frustration and the lack of just disregard for private property outside of the right-of-way. I know we've talked about educating about what the right-of-way is, but there's still issues even outside the right-of-way. Thank you. I know Councilmember Gutierrez is co-sponsor, but I know it affects every district. My main question was, just for an update on where are we on enforcement as far as, and this might be for management to answer or legal. We said we were going to come back and strengthen our ordinances to the maximum capacity of state law, because we are limited by state law on how much we can regulate these fiber contractors, but
Mayor, if I may, before she continues. Thank you both for being here, I really appreciate it. And I want to applaud the staff for addressing this. I know you all have addressed it over and over again, specifically with these two companies. Won't mention their names, but I do want to say thank you very much, because I know you all are behind it. Contractors have called me complaining because of what I've said here, and Dr. King has said here. Well, we've all said here, right? We all have issues with this, and there's problems, so I just want to say thank you, because I know you all are on it. I know you're making it more difficult for these companies to be working here, more stringent.
The fines are a lot higher than what they were prior to. So they're thinking twice about what they're doing instead of just going in there digging wherever they want to dig. And hopefully they're being more respectful towards our citizens, because I've heard that they were been extremely rude. So I just thank you all for trying to take care of as much as you possibly can.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so thank you very much, Councilmember, and we have been working on this since it was brought up last time. So one of the things we've done, we've met with them twice as a monthly meeting. We met in April and we met in May. We are receiving a daily report from the companies, letting us know exactly where they are working on. So these are things that we're going to be looking into. I know we have a brief presentation, but we'll also be looking at penalties up to the maximum allowed under state law, which is $4,000. And so I know that'll be covered as part of the presentation, but we will continue working on this. We are also looking at additional measurements for stronger right-of-way management, and we've discussed some of these with them, including hydro-excavating all laterals for water and sewer. And so these are things that we're starting to implement, but we're ready to come back as soon as the next meeting, if you allow us to work with legal on some of these terms and conditions.
Good evening, Mayor. Vanessa Guerra from your Planning and Zoning staff. I'm here with Roland Lozano, our right-of-way manager, and we do have a brief presentation. So, just a bit of background. The major companies that are currently installing fiber optic cable in our city is AT&T and Vexus. The current right-of-way ordinance was amended in February of 2025, which mandated hydro excavating, which means that we use water to expose the existing infrastructure. This would help in avoiding or identifying the existing infrastructure so that we can avoid hitting it. Due to the amended ordinance, we have seen a decline in damages to our infrastructure. One of the very good things that Mr. Chavez mentioned is that we are now having monthly meetings with Vexus and city staff to discuss damages. Damages continue to occur, so we want to make sure that we do continue to explore methods of improving our processes to avoid. Just a quick background on our application process. When projects come in, they're presented to our Utility Coordination Committee. They verify existing infrastructure. The right-of-way division then issues a clearance letter, so then the utility companies can become eligible to apply for our right-of-way permits. The right-of-way permit application is then submitted by the utility company and their designated contractor. The right-of-way division reviews the application. Of course, it includes fees, construction plans, registration. They're required to have insurance, bond, workman's comp. They have to submit a traffic control plan, and we verify the 811 call number, confirmation number. The pre-construction inspection is scheduled. We have it performed by an inspector along with the contractor, and then the hydro excavation proceeds. The contractor is then required to do property outreach in order to initiate construction. So that's sort of how these projects start.
Yes, go ahead.
You're saying for each neighborhood they go into, or you're saying just the
That's
two?
correct. With these projects, they're required to do that outreach.
So, because they're going through like an entire series of neighborhoods, so when do they have to keep, do they just apply once at the very beginning and they get a blanket permit for the foreseeable future, or do they have to reapply every time they go to a new section of the city, or how's?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening, Council. Roland Lozano, for the record. So the project is specifically states what they're gonna do. Sometimes the project is 30,000 linear feet, but it's divided in sections. As each section is going by, we don't want them to start tearing up all. So they go a section at a time, repair, restore, and then keep moving on. So one of the process that we tell them to do is to talk to the customers by leaving a tag. That's already been their way of doing business. And they give them a number, call me if you have any questions. And at that point, they move forward in the construction of the installation of fiber. If there's ever any damages, we obviously, we were gonna discuss it, but we recommend that contract or property owners call the 311 so we can hold accountable the contractors to make sure that they restore. We give them 48 hours for them to restore or figure out what is it, unless it's something major. So if they don't, then by ordinance, there is a liability insurance that they could, through risk management, that we could obtain funds to help, pay for damages. However, the response has been very swift to try to talk to customers. So that's what we've seen lately. It's been,
So the question was, do they have to reapply for or it's dependent on the project?
Right.
If they've applied for the whole 30,000 feet, that's when they have to do their
the
due diligence.
correct.
So, let me continue.
So that 30,000 feet could be quite a few projects at one time. And then what's inspected exactly? Their equipment,
Their plan, where they're gonna be trenching, where they're gonna be laying.
Does anyone go back and inspect it after?
Afterwards, yes. Yes. So, so what happens if there's damages? That's kind of the crux of the question. So what we recommend is if there's damages on the private property inside the right of way. So if you have irrigation system, landscaping in the right of way, first thing, call 311. What that does is it records that complaint and we get notified there has been an issue. So at that point, that 311 complaint, it gets assigned to our division. Right-of-way division then investigates and notifies the right-of-way contractor to restore the right-of-way and the private property that's been damaged within 48 hours. So at that point, it is incumbent on the contractor or subcontractor to go back and address those damages. Should the contractor not repair the damages, then at that point, Risk Management Department, that's a city department, is authorized to file on the contractor's liability insurance because the contractor as well as the company are both liable. So they're liable jointly and severally. Right-of-way division follows up on the 311 tickets to ensure that the complaints have been resolved. So once they've determined that they have been resolved, they close the complaint and the final inspections are performed to ensure that the right-of-way has been restored to its pre-construction condition. So all utility companies are ultimately liable for damages incurred by their contractor.
Mayor, yes, go ahead. Just a simple question, or two of them actually. Is this, the way it's written, it seems to me like a blanket type ordinance or policy as to people that are gonna be trenching and they're gonna be doing pretty much underground work. Do you see any need to adjust it so that we can, as we move forward, there's gonna be, this city needs to be fibers coming. And I'm not sure if there's intricacies amongst the fiber industry as to how to go about the installation process. I know that we wouldn't be getting these many complaints had there been an easier way or a little bit more compliant way of looking at this from the city's point of view, as opposed to the individual property owners calling us and telling us this is what we're seeing. I'm seeing it on a daily basis, and I'm not sure what the right way or the wrong way is, because they give you a design, and this is the second question. By design, when they submit it, do the property owners know that they need to go through there? The city knows that they need to go through there, but it just so happens to be that there's a lot of pipe breakages. There's a lot of interruption to other things that are in there. Are you letting them go through the area where most of water, sewer, all of that is going through?
That is exactly where they're supposed to lay we have explored micro trenching in the paved area in the street. We understand that is not a feasible solution. So the lines go basically behind the curb.
Yeah.
And it's tight, and that's why that hydro excavation is so important to identify the existing infrastructure.
Well, I just seem to see that, you know, I was at a house yesterday, and I've been seeing all of them. They're right along the water meter, in between the water meter and the sidewalk, in that area. There's no, I mean, I would say a designated area that, they're looking at, but it's pretty much at will. There's about a 2-foot area in there, and it's pretty much at will. And I'm thinking that that's why they're hitting pipes, water pipes and all that kind of stuff.
You're
And
correct.
because
It is
they're all
a-
bunched in together.
It is.
And then you want them to hydro trench in there, and God knows what's under there and how deep it is, so that's where I see the problem is.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
address that. And that's part of the proposed changes that we're looking at bringing back at the next meeting, or as soon as the next meeting, which will include, again, hydro excavating these lateral services, because that's something that was not being done. It's vague in the ordinance right now, and so we're gonna make it very clear that they have to do this. As they cross through these laterals, that they must show us that they've crossed in a proper manner without damaging these services.
I am thinking that, well, and this is, I mean, wishful thinking, and it's partly outside the box, that then saying that any new development should put a conduit system in there for such a thing that you can just pull wire through. I mean, I think that's, you know, I don't know who would pay for it, I don't know how it looks, I don't know even how to say that, but it would seem to me that any industrial park that's coming up that's gonna have any of that stuff, any new development, we're getting all this all over the city, that this is the way of the future. We're gonna have, everything's gonna be underground, we don't have hardly anything going above ground. So I'm wondering if we can have, you know, pre-designated or pre-installed, through the roughen system, a conduit, so that they can pull through there. But, I mean, that's just me. So
Right.
I'm just thinking out
And I
loud.
can address that, Mayor. So, yes, it is typical on intersections where we,
Yes.
where
Correct.
developers will leave a conduit, right, for future crossings. It will be, the developer will not want to pay for that originally, but it's something that we do look into city projects and other projects that we have more responsibility on, where we leave these, but mainly at the intersections.
These companies right now, they're going into existing subdivisions, and some of them are not prepared for something like this. There's already, because of the ordinances and the way they were built before. But my thinking is that, I'm wondering how many, of the households that they predicted that they were gonna have are already having that. So, it just presents more problems in the future, and I'm glad you're looking at tightening that up. But I'm just thinking for future development, what we can do to be a little bit more creative about this process, so that they can come in here, do their job, and do, everybody's happy, you know, but, so, that's just my thought. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Ms. Guerra, you said that micro trenching was not, you looked at that
Yeah,
and
we
you decided?
explored that. We explored
Only,
that.
only because,
go ahead.
in San Antonio, they, you know, what I saw with Google Fiber was that they were laying micro trenches, or I guess that's what it's called, right? It was in the street, a little bit away from the curb, and then they came back and patched it up, and I'm just wondering why it worked there and it wouldn't work here.
We looked at it.
We talked to Public Works and saying that the maintenance of the street, that was one of the things. They would still need to dig behind the curb and tunnel underneath to connect back to the fiber and bring it over. Because what we're talking about micro trenching is putting like a trunk line at the asphalt area, not on the curb, and then at a certain depth. And it's easier for them to install it where there is no, or there is very little, I guess, obstructions, nothing's there, right? So, but you still have services crossing. So if you have a service line on one side of the street crossing over, you need to make sure that you expose
The
it. So
risks are gonna be the same,
they're
whether
still,
it's in the street.
exactly, so, and based on the damages that could happen to the asphalt, it was just not something that the city wanted to look into.
Thank you.
So we wanted to explore the current ordinance and state statute. The current ordinance, the current state statute allows that for a maximum per occurrence, or occurrence of damage, a penalty or a fine of up to $4,000. Our current city right-of-way ordinance allows for a fine of $1,000 for the first occurrence, a $2,000 fine for the second occurrence, and a $4,000 fine for the third offense, with suspension of the registration, suspension for 180 days, after which reinstatement would cost $2,500. So, that being said, what do we recommend? Our recommendation is to mirror the state statute. So to allow or to address, to change our ordinance to allow up to the $4,000 fine for the per occurrence. And we wanted to add additional measures for stronger right-of-way management, including pre-construction meetings, post-construction inspection, project closeout, of course, hydro excavate every existing water and sewer service. Again, engage with stakeholders, including broadband providers and residents, resident representatives for input. And of course, we'll work with city attorney's office and city manager's office regarding these amendments.
Ms. Guerra, if I may, Mayor, if I may. This all sounds wonderful and it looks great, but do you have the staff to do this? Pre-construction meetings, more meetings? Do you need any more? And do you have the staff to do so? I mean,
Well-
like I say, it sounds fantastic, but
Budget is coming.
I think I'll be done. But as you well know, budget's very tight already, and it's gonna be even tighter next year. So that's my question. Would you all be able to handle even more work than what we're stacking on you now?
It will be a challenge.
It'd be difficult.
It'll be a challenge, that's for sure.
Thank you.
But, we have to do what we need to do as part of the city to make sure that our right-of-way is managed appropriately.
Go ahead, Council.
Okay, ma'am. I thought at the beginning you had said you were already doing those pre-construction.
We are doing pre-construction, meetings. We have that.
Post-inspection. So what's the,
have
Councilmember
that,
Gutierrez is asking about additional staff needed for this additional work by this new ordinance change, but.
I think these would be
like-
specialized to this because our pre-construction meetings are, for, they're scheduled once every month, for all the projects that are coming through. And these would be, I guess, specific to just the right of way.
Because the main change I saw in that slide was that it was, would the first offense, I mean, obviously you have to finalize it, but it looks like the idea of it is you're going straight to the $4,000 fine instead of.
We'll allow up to the maximum.
But that's the main change I saw, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, we have to protect the right of way, so I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, I know it's late.
All right,
Mayor, if I may?
Yes,
For
go ahead.
number 49, 50, and 51, motion to table them, all three, with the opportunity for the council member when she wishes to bring them back.
Motion? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned, thank you.